Alright, this is RFC 130 broken down into 3 pulls. Take a look at the talents and the runes you need to do this. The buffs, everything circled in green is required. Everything else is extra, or you just add it on. You want to start by just Ice Lance pulling everything here. Because you have world buff, you're going to be able to save a ton of mana on these runs by not blinking. You can just run through things. They'll hit you once, they won't catch up to you. You want to pull everything on this first ramp here, including this Trog that paths up and down. Hit your regen, select a Trog, not a Shaman, and then get your Living Flame going here. And just do your rain dance. Go back and forth, get the mobs, you can see it where it's burning on the ground, just try to kite them back and forth through it. You can do little like semicircles like I'm doing here. The reason why you'll see a lot of people pull this in one pull, the reason why I'll do this in two, for people, you can see that debuff on me right now, it's an armor debuff and it stacks to 5 times. So if you kill all the snakes right now in the first little pull while you're still learning, you won't have that armor debuff going into the big Trog pull here. So you can evocate here once you get good at this, or you can just sit and drink. You won't need evocate later. So you want to pull the first Trog there, get up on this ledge, and just wait until they come around the corner. Once they come around the corner, you can pull those ones. Everything else along the sides should pull. So now our focus is to get the ones at the very end with taking the least amount of damage. So you're going to Ice Lance those Trogs at the very end of the tunnel there. You're going to select the one right there that I selected, because he's going to aggro last and he'll be one of the first mobs to come back through this tunnel here. He's going to be our Living Flame target. Once he gets cresting around the hallway, you just kind of sidestep out, then backpedal into this corner. Let the mob that you've put on the flame on get there, and then start doing your rain dance again, trying to line of sight using this rock as the corner. So all the shamans will come over and join the death pile. Get trogged, idiot. And then you just loot. So we're 2.5 minutes in, that's about 50 mobs. These are the easy pulls that you see being advertised. It's a joke. These ones are simple, I think. They don't stun, they don't do anything other than that armor debuff. So the next pull is where people will split this up even more. Feel free to do that. It's always pretty much any spot where you have Living Flame up, you can kind of just stop and kill them. But you just always have to be mindful of where you are in the dungeon and where your boosties are, because they won't get EXP past certain points. Again, this pull's a lot easier with world buff. I highly suggest getting it to learn, even if you have to die and go back to Thunderbluff or whatever. Just keep going and getting it, because once you learn the pull with the world buff, it's a lot simpler and faster. That one snake will socially aggro, you don't need to pull it. Now you just want to get the ones on the outside rim basically and just run through the ones on the inside. You're going to pull all the rock elementals here, you're going to pull this far one, and then you're going to blink backwards, kind of like across the grain here. We're going to go up this ramp. This gives us another 2 additional rock elementals. And a little cool trick here, if you go down into this little dip, the mobs will have to path down into this lava. It can't hurt you, it's just aesthetic. You let them come here, they'll have to path back the other way here, so it gains you time if you ever need to do a heal or something. You can try to pull those rock elementals up there. I find they reset a lot of the time, so a lot of the time I'll just ignore them. It's not worth the trouble. want to save our blink here to gain some distance. Select this further one. Try not to aggro the first ones. We want them to socially aggro. We're going to select this guy, Ice Lance. Keep yourself decursed as much as you can. Ice Lance to this guy. You have to jump because there's a little bit of a lip there. You want to blink in between these mobs to not aggro them. Ice Lance that guy and then let everything else socially aggro. You're now saving your blink cooldown so that you don't take any fall damage here. So you're going to do a wide arc on Basilan. Jump down, your cooldown's up, blink into the wall. At this point I want my mana to start ticking up, so I use a bandage here. You can select any one of those three, doesn't matter. Get your regen ticking, fired Ice Lance, get Living Flame going, and then jump on this little thing here. This will line of sight all the casters, and then just slowly stutter step till this corner here. We don't want to stack them up because if you kill mobs here, your boosties are going to get no EXP. So it's just to get health back. It's just kind of stack them a little bit and then go. You want to get kind of on your bike here. Again, not blinking here. We just want to run, save mana. With world buff, you don't need to. Decursing when you can. This one, we're going to take a really sharp 90 cut into the boss now. Do an AE to hit everything. Going to Ice Lance the boss towards us, and right before he hits us, we want to blink through him so he doesn't get that pop-up attack. Every now and then he'll leeway a pop-up attack right here, but because you've gained a little bit of distance, it won't matter. You'll be fine. You might take 1 or 2 hits. And here I blink to gather the front mobs just a bit more, get a little bit of distance so I can get a tick or 2 off on regen for healing. Immediately start Living Flame, and as soon as he hits the pop-up, I fap immediately. And then go around the corner to line of sight the casters here, and this is where we want to start stacking up and watching our Living Flame cooldown that you see the weak aura above my head, and our health, because you see it dip down, they batch melee hit you there, and you get dipped down really low, so you gotta be careful. So it's better if there's only 4 or 5 seconds, 6 seconds left in your Living Flame to just blink out of trouble, lead them down this pathway. We're gonna do another lap and live to fight another day. You just wait for your Living Flame cooldown to come up. It adds approximately 1 minute to the run, but it's so much safer than trying to stick around and finish that kill. You can see how many mobs are still left alive that would be hitting you right now with no regen going. So we do another loop. We bring them back down to the original Trog location. And we keep selecting Taragamon because he's the highest health mob. You always want to select the high health mob for Living Flame because as soon as that mob dies, the Living Flame dies with him. So I let them stack a bit a little here before I start eating. Again, so I'm not killing Targamon before all the mobs have a chance to come. And we just line of sight again. Let the casters come in slowly. The mobs that are low health are going to peter in. You just wait. So that was the safe route with an extra loop on the kill phase and 8 minutes all in from the start to the finish of the pull. So you can do it in 6 minutes easily if everything goes right. You could do this in 2 pulls, you could do this in 1 pull. It's just about safety and repeatability. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions.